you have to be a member of the church under normal circumstances to go to confession to a Catholic priest. I said, are you now saying that Jesus is calling you to become a Catholic? And he had said all along that he felt that Our Lady wanted him and Jesus wanted him to remain in the Anglican communion long enough to bring souls with him when he came over. And this is not unusual. There's a Lutheran by the name of Wayne Weibel that's been associated with Medjugorje, and he stayed a Lutheran for quite a while before he became a Catholic after his great experience in Medjugorje. So I thought, this is, whatever. I introduced him to a Catholic priest, and so he'd have someone to be in touch with and be in good discernment. Well, he said, no, he says, no, I'm not supposed to join the church, but I'm supposed to go to confession. Then the next time I talked to him was 2 days, that was a Sunday, 2 days later on a Tuesday, and he said he wanted to talk to me and we couldn't get together. And the next morning I called him and his wife said, well, he's gone, it was a work day, and he's gone to St. Louis de Montfort to the Eucharistic Adoration Chapel. I thought, well, that's very unusual. And she said, oh, he was up very early in the morning. Well, I later found out he was up all night because he had this call that he was resisting to go to the monstrance. And he said to me, he says, he said, I've had the warning. I said, what do you mean you've had the warning? He said, I've had the great purification. I've experienced it before the monstrance at St. Louis de Montfort. And he said, I need to go to confession very badly now. So we talked about the fact that at the end of the week, a couple of Catholic priests, one of them, a Father O'Connor from the University of Notre Dame, would be in town. And this was a person who was a Catholic priest who was understanding of the messages of Father Gobi and some of these other things, and might be more understanding for him to go to confession. The next time I talked to him was, he came into the door of my office in downtown Indianapolis on Thursday about 11:30 in the morning. And he had been weeping. Now you have to understand, this is not an emotional guy. This is a guy who played baseball in college on a scholarship and played golf on a regular basis and never really got excited about much of anything. He got kind of excited about praying the rosary, and he was very interested and very much called to this ministry of evangelization, but I'd never seen him really get that emotional. And he said, we're going to have to do something. I said, what do you mean? He says, I need your help. He says, I know you can help me. He said, I have to have this thing called absolution. I said, well, I know what that is. I said, you just told me at the beginning of the week. He says, well, I have to go. He said, I've had this experience. And he said, I was just in a meeting in the largest boardroom in the city, in a business meeting, and every 10 minutes I was crying. And I said, well, what are you telling me? He said, look, he said, I am a miserable wretch. He said, I have seen my soul. God has shown me my soul as he sees it. He said, it's the worst experience I've ever had in my life. But he said, at the same time, it's the greatest experience of love that I've ever had. And he said, I'm not worthy to even know God. I'm not worthy even to be a creature. But he said, I love God so much and God loves me that I want to do this.